Morning guys, it's Pat with Off Pavement. Hey, we're up here in beautiful Idlewild this morning, and I thought I'd do a walk around on the XJ. Now we got chosen to do our third JP Dirt and Drive, and I thought it'd be a good idea not to just show you the XJ, but show you what's involved and what we take along on a trip like that. Also, we'll be going to Easter Jeep Safari in Moab, Utah, and everything that we have in this rig will actually pertain to that trip as well. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right guys, well here it is. This is a 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. This originally, when we bought this, this was bone stock. This had an option from Chrysler known as the Upcountry, which basically was a 1-inch taller shock and spring package, a little bit stiffer, not much. It came with factory skids and tow hooks. Pretty much everything but the rear skid for the gas tank has been removed. As you can see, this is, I don't say it's heavily modified, but it's modified and gets us where we're going. It's running a rough country 6.5-inch long arm kit all the way around. This was a complete kit that we purchased through Adams Drive Shaft out in Henderson, Nevada. And with that, we got one of their great drive shafts, which we've been more than happy with, and an SYE kit that they also provided for our transfer case. I believe that was manufactured by Rugged Ridge. We are running a 16x8 factory Moab wheel. This was a great Craigslist find, and I've been pretty happy with it. General X3 grabbers. These are 315/75 R16. Comes out to about 34.7 inches on the diameter. So we just cheat and say, yeah, it's a 35. A lot of different modifications. You can see we have the JCR Crusader front bumper. That has been spray painted actually with a Rust-Oleum hammered finish. Put tow hooks on there. We are running Rugged Retrofits headlamps. These are great. This is a projector HID in a 5x7 housing. It is DOT, and I love these headlights. These things are fantastic. Notch Customs flares. Love these too. These are, it's a fiberglass unit. It's 2-piece in the rear. It's a 1-piece up front. I'll tell you right out of the gate, be patient doing the rear. There is some, for the novice, extensive work that takes place when you're installing these. But trust me, if you do it and know what you're doing, or take it to somebody that does, when it's all said and done, this is the perfect addition. My opinion, this is how this thing should have looked out of the factory. We opted to go a different way on the hood vents. Was not a big fan of the louvered vent. That's nothing against louvered vents, but I thought this was a little racier. This is an aluminum sheet that's been dimple dyed, some screens, and a drip pan underneath. This allows us to get the heat out of the engine bay. Doesn't do anything for engine cooling, but it does get the heat out of the engine bay. As you well know, exhaust intake and fuel rails are all within about 3 inches of each other, and on a good hot day on the trail, you could notice some stumbling and or even some vapor lock. So that's going to help alleviate that problem. We got a custom roof rack up top. I built that myself. We've got some traction boards up there. I believe those are from Escaper Buddy. That's an off-brand. It is pretty much the same stuff that you're going to find with the name brands and some of the other ones out there on the market. I wanted a low-profile roof rack. This is 1x3 tubing, and I wanted to be able to French in the light bar. It makes it a little more inconspicuous, as it were. We are running JCR's rock sliders. I like these because these basically take the rocker panel and it rolls under with a 3/16" plate all the way from the back of the front wheel well to the front of the rear wheel well, and then you have a good 1.5-inch tube that comes out. And I have hit these many times, and I absolutely love them. Let's walk around back here to the rear. Up on the roof rack, we got us a shovel. You never know when nature calls and or you need to dig yourself out of something. We are also running the JCR Crusader rear bumper and tire carrier. I like this as well. This has proven to be a very sturdy product. We've made a couple of changes. We actually, if you know the Crusader rear tire carrier, you know that the Rotopax fuel cans do not mount like that. We actually changed that up a little bit and opted to do a little bit different mount. As you can kind of see right there, kind of sandwiches between the actual tire carrier and the upright and allows us to mount there. There's a couple reasons for that. Mainly just style and looks, I believe, was really what I was going for. But beyond that, it's pretty sturdy. Nothing against the JCR mounts, just preferred the look the way it was. Over here we got ourselves an axe. You never know, might need one. So we mounted one up there. Just some of the essentials on the outside of this rig that you can see. We've got pod lights up on top. We can adjust those manually, but we can adjust those if we need to get a little wider on the trail. We're also running the JCR 1-ton steering. This has been a pretty good kit. I've been happy with it. We did have to turn our steering stops out a little bit because of the diff cover that we're using, and we are using the G2 diff covers front and rear. It's a Dana 30 front, Chrysler 825 in the rear. We are running a Lockrite lunchbox locker in the front, and we are running 456 gears. So that is the front suspension. All right, let's go on to the interior. Nothing fancy here. Well, stock seats, Pep Boys steering wheel cover. Woohoo! All right, and don't forget your off-the-grid gloves. Always have a pair of gloves with you. You never know when you're going to need them. All right, we are running the Magellan TRX 7CS. We run that for nav. We are also running an iPhone 10 that has the additional nav on it, and it also has weather channels and weather radar, which also comes in very handy. We are running the rugged radios, 25-watt race radio, UHF, VHF, and a 5-watt CB radio. Not everybody's on a race radio, so it is always handy to have both radios at your disposal. I don't have it in the rig with me right now, but we also carry a 5-watt UHF VHF in case we have to send someone up the trail or off the trail somewhere outside the rig. We can still be in communication all the time. This rig is pretty much stock in here. There's not a whole lot going on. We do have the rear seat folded down, and it gives us more cargo area. So let's go ahead and move back to the cargo area. Okay, moving into the back. This is where all the preparation is. In these two bins here, we have an assortment of miscellaneous tools, things that are unique to this vehicle and or the suspension. Some specialty tools that go along with that for like the Johnny joints, things like that. We have additional rope, tie downs, ratchet straps. What else? Anything, like I said, anything that is unique to the vehicle that somebody else may or may not have. In addition to that, we are also carrying additional water. We are carrying blankets. We are carrying glow sticks. These are all things that you will find useful if you find yourself stuck out on the trail somewhere. You never know. Right here, this is the Craftsman. I believe this is, believe it or not, a 315-piece toolkit. If you come around here to the side, it has 3 drawers and a top section. This has 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive, ratchets, sockets, you name it. There's Allen wrenches, there are box wrenches. This is not a very heavy kit, surprisingly, and it fits right back here, right where we need it to. So we are pleased with that. This open space right here with this blue bag is typically where our Yeti cooler goes. And again, that's just your day-to-day snacks and drinks. But also inside that bag, if we come in here, we'll find our fill valve and gauge. We have our air hoses. We have other assortments, everything that really pertains to the power tank. This is the PT10. I love this thing. I actually just had this refilled, and I've had this thing for a while. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody is your friend when you own a power tank air system. Everybody wants to have you fill their tires because they don't want to wait for their little air compressors. I love this thing, man. Those guys make a great product, and I've been super, super happy with it. Right behind that, you can see that we got a mild fire extinguisher. We could actually upgrade that. I don't know how long that would last, but at least will maybe deter a small spark or flame. Here's probably one of the most important things you can take on the trail. This is a first aid kit. Build your first aid kits in accordance with what you're doing. If you're a shooter, build your kit for shooting. If you're an off-road, build it for off-road. And you're going to know the kind of stuff that you need. You'll notice right there, TQ, that is actually a tourniquet. I don't advise you to put a tourniquet in every situation, but should the opportunity arise, it is good to have one. You never know. You just never know. Be safe, be prepared. That's all I'm going to say. This is pretty much the back of this. It's pretty basic. There's not a whole lot going on. Just in front of the yellow bins is areas there where you can see some of our cases there. It's basically our film equipment, cameras. I keep the nav system in there when it's not plugged in and attached. That's pretty much what's going on there. Here is the tire carrier, and I'll show you the back of the actual bracket that we did. That's that there, so you can see how that went. Again, pretty basic. This is the Crusader rear bumper. I'm pretty pleased with it. It has a number of tie-in brackets on it, and I have been pretty happy with it, so I've got no complaints there. There's the Chrysler 825 with the diff cover. We're also running a Flowmaster. That's just for tone. And this little guy right up here, I don't know if you can see him, that's a dust light. Dust lights are handy when you're traveling on a trail with multiple vehicles and you find yourself in a super, super dusty situation. A little something we picked up from our racing days. Dust light is handy. Keeps people informed of where you are so they don't run into you. All right. Well, there it is, folks. That is the 2001 Jeep XJ. We are getting ready again, like I said, for JP Dirt and Drive. You can see the things that we take with us and why. And I would hope that from that you will also glean a little information and do the same. If you have any questions, man, I would love to hear your comments. And give us a like, give us a subscribe. We definitely would love to have you as part of the Off Pavement team. Till then, it's Pat with Off Pavement. We'll see you out on the trail.